Live, because it's happening right in front of your face. Unless you're watching online, in which case, pre-recorded from the beautiful World Center Marriott in Orlando, Florida, in conjunction with NHF's Bleeding Disorders Conference, a 4th annual Teen Impact Awards presentation produced by Believe Limited. It's the, can't forget these guys, brought to you by Shire, National Cornerstone Healthcare Services, CSL Bearing, and Spark Therapeutics. It's the Reasonable Hour Nighttime Show. Now, here's your host, Patrick James Lynch.
How's it going, everybody? All right, how we doing? We're here. The sun's starting. Let's give it up for the Reasonable Hour Nighttime Band, everybody. How about these two handsome characters? Looking fantastic, looking sharp, looking ready. How about you? You guys ready for tonight? Good. That's great. We have a fantastic show planned for you this evening to honor some of the most impressive young people that I myself have ever seen. But first, there is a lot going on in the bleeding community right now. A lot going on. There is. Actually, did you guys hear about this? They are now saying that life expectancy for a person with hemophilia in the U.S. is about the same as people in the general population.
That's amazing.
That's the same. That's what they're telling me. Yeah. Great news for us. Terrible news for our monthly premiums. So, light side and a dark side.
Them, you know?
Unless you're collecting them, in which case, congratulations, you're a winner in this too. Who knows what they say the number of people with hemophilia in the U.S. is, roughly? What's that number that kind of gets thrown around? Anybody got shouted out? 20,000. Yeah, right, that's the number you hear. Number of people living with hemophilia in the U.S. is about 20,000. And the number of people living with hemophilia in my house is 1, and her name is Natalie, and I just realized I forgot her birthday.
Oh.
She just had her 33rd birthday, and I forgot. And I just told you how old she is.
Oh.
And she's sitting in the front row.
Hi, Natalie.
Hey, Natalie.
Someone's in
Happy.
trouble.
That's too much. Okay. But no, there's a lot of great stuff going on in the community. Gene therapy is being talked about a lot. Gene therapy, very buzzy right now. Gene therapy. They are saying in some cases, gene therapy may be more cost-effective than factor. It's one of the things you're starting to hear about a little bit. It might be more cost-effective. Sort of like how buying a mansion is more cost-effective than buying 3 to 4 houses per week. And you kind of look at it like that.
It's a ratio thing.
You start to do the math a little bit. But seriously, though, biotech is working towards a day where we with hemophilia might not need to be infusing so regularly anymore at some point.
Wow,
And, it means a lot of things. Generally good news. It does, however, mean we're going to have a lot of leftover needles. So we here at the Reasonable Hour Nighttime Show just started to put together a little list of things that you could do with your needles once you're no longer infusing so often. So there's a couple ideas, just a little brain to get you started. Darts. You could use them for darts. You never have enough darts. One of the darts always breaks. The wings on the back break, and you're like, I don't even know what to... Use your needles. Bring your needles into the case. Voodoo dolls. Can never have enough needles for voodoo dolls. Right? Voodoo doll enthusiasts are here. I didn't know
Someone's got one.
coming. Oh, be careful. We need them until at least the end of the show. Afterwards, that's your own time. A plastic straw alternative. Huh? Save the environment, limit consumption. Everybody wins. DIY acupuncture set.
I love DIY.
That's a possibility. I think that's all you do. You just stick yourself with needles. That's how acupuncture works. Yeah, it doesn't matter where.
Maybe consult a professional.
Maybe consult a professional. Probably not a bad idea. Yeah, don't just take what I'm saying and run with that. Tiny turkey basters. Thanksgiving's coming up. If you need extra turkey basters, you could have really teeny. How would that look though? Like, what is that even? Do we have like a reference point? Is there a visual? Okay, sure.
I thought it was going to be a tiny turkey.
I'm worried about that person's thumb. Oh, that's an actual turkey baster though, not a needle. That's good. That turkey.
Okay.
Turkey does not realize what's coming up for that turkey. That's a happy turkey.
It's October.
Yeah, that turkey does not have the
Season is
clock.
awry.
They could be used to create a super fun Halloween doctor outfit. You string a bunch of them together, throw a lab coat on, or a super inappropriate Halloween treat because they are still needles and you don't want to eat them. So just a little list. Here you go. Get you started. There you go. That's for you. That's a gift. It's very valuable. Definitely save it. Who here is a reader of NHF's HemoWare? Any HemoWare readers in the house? Yeah, we got some good HemoWare readers. Got some woos. I heard woos for a magazine.
HemoWare.
That is fantastic. When you get woos for a magazine, you're doing something right. Do you know that they are saying now that yoga can help prevent against surgery? Yeah, doing yoga, it may help you prevent against the need for surgery. It will, however, drastically increase the need for unflattering pants.
Oh.
So it's one of those things. You got to make a choice. You got to
Not
make a
on
choice.
B-Will. They look great.
That's right. It's a give and take. Thank you, Brian. That's very well put. And lastly, in the latest issue of HemoWare, great study that said, and I firmly believe this, that listening to music can help reduce pain and anxiety and stress. Listening to music can help reduce pain, anxiety, and stress. The only thing, there's one little caveat, it's unless that music comes from Kanye West. We have a fantastic show for you here this evening. The first bleeder to ever climb to the top of the world, Mount Everest, Chris Bombardier is here. And Nicole Scappy is here. We got members from NYLI. They are here in the house. And we have got 70 of the most inspiring teens that I have ever seen that we're going to be honoring here tonight as recipients of the 4th Annual Teen Impact Awards. 70 honorees.
That is a lot of people, Patrick.
That is a lot of people. And it's the 70th anniversary of the Bleeding Disorders Conference.
Sweet.
So how about that? Right on the number. But it's a lot of people. They have done some great stuff. We want to give them a chance to get up here on stage. We're going to give them each about 30 minutes. So the show should run no longer than about 127 hours.
Oh, 127 hours? No, that's a movie. That's a movie about a guy that cuts off his own arm. It's so gross.
Are you okay, man?
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen it already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's good to know.
Just doing the supportive band leader. That's it.
Well done, man. You're really good at that role.
Thank you.
You're really,
Thank
really
you.
good at that role. But no, in all seriousness, we do have a great show for you here tonight. We are honoring teens who have demonstrated a positive impact in one of our 6 categories: advocacy, academics, service, leadership, arts and athletics, and for the first time, a category specifically recognizing carriers and family members of people living with a bleeding disorder. We're going to recognize them in their own special category this year for the first time, which is kind of fun. And this year as well, and thanks specifically to our impact sponsors, NCHS and CSL Behring, we're going to be taking a closer look at 3 of our 70 honorees in what we call our spotlight videos. These videos are to give you a small, intimate look into the lives of just a few of our 70 honorees. And for our first spotlight video, allow me to introduce you to James Cosman.
From Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland, James Cosman.
Hi, my name is James. We've moved 6 times. My dad's in the Navy, so luckily we were always on the coast.
Living on the coast, James developed a true passion for swimming and just recently became one of the youngest swimmers ever to cross the channel from Alcatraz to San Francisco.
Everyone on my swim team told me I couldn't do it. They said that I would be eaten by sharks, and I proceeded to tell them that I just have to be faster than the slowest person. The day before Alcatraz was my first home infusion. Felt really good. I didn't know I was hurting beforehand, but now, once it was gone, I finally realized that I had been hurting.
James and his family had 187 hospital appointments in just the 1 year prior to his current diagnosis.
Being in and out of the hospital, it's been kind of hard to talk to the doctors sometimes, because sometimes you know the doctors are wrong, so you have to kind of push back, but you don't know where to stop.
Further complicating matters, James's family has moved every 2 years, and military doctors often rotate out. Like a true leader, James found a way to turn his frustrations and challenges into something positive and productive with his prize-winning science fair experiment.
I did that particular science project because I didn't feel like the doctors were listening, so I figured this would be an easy way to teach a bunch of people about how blood clotting works and to prove to the doctors that I actually knew what I was talking about. I got the first place. They said that I explained it very well and I made everything very easy to understand.
Like so many Teen Impact Award honorees, it's impossible to include all the impactful, inspiring things James does into a single video. Though his diagnosis remains uncertain, James's positivity and endless energy shine through.
tonight. So, James, could you stand up for us real quick and get recognized? Where are you, James? Right here in the front row. James Cosman, everybody. Thank you, James, for all you do. Thank you for letting Believe come into your house. We're really messy house guests, so that was probably a mistake. But thank you. We did make a nice video out of it anyway. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. And you're wearing an excellent bow tie. Let's not let that go unnoticed. Yeah, Jessica.
Patrick, are all of the honorees here?
That is a great question, Jay Rich.
Thank you. It was in my script.
Many, but not all, of our honorees are here. However, the honorees who are not here, along with anyone else from the community, hi, Mom. They are going to be able to watch the video that we're creating. So let's make sure to keep our enthusiasm high for each and every honoree that is being recognized here tonight. Woo! There you go. Very good. That's great. And let's keep that enthusiasm going. Woo! There we are. For the first ever hemophiliac to get to the top of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Bombardier. Hello, sir. Chris Bombardier. This man's still on Everest. Take a seat, my friend. Take a seat. You are looking sharp. Really sharp.
Thanks, Patrick.
Man, you got the unbuttoned top thing going on too.
Yeah, it was a little tight. So
It's
yeah.
But you just look cooler that way.
Thanks. That's what I was going for. Yeah.
That's what I figured. So, Chris, I want to start with the question that I think is probably on everyone's mind. Could you possibly have a cooler name?
Yeah, it's kind of felt like pretty fittingly appropriate the last few years. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. So again, for those who don't know, Chris, he not only did he climb Everest, but he's climbed the 7 summits, the highest mountain on each continent. He's the first person with hemophilia to do that. He's the first person with hemophilia to climb to the top of Everest, which leads me to my second question. What were you thinking?
Well, climbing the 7 summits was really always a dream of mine, and I believe that hemophilia shouldn't hold people back from their dreams, which is why I've also used my climbs to raise awareness and funds for Save One Life, so that other hemophiliacs who don't have the same access to care that I have can someday also chase their wild dreams.
That's powerful stuff, man. That's powerful stuff. You know, glad you brought up dreams. You know, I have a dream that at some point I'll be able to eat 7 pizzas in 1 week. That's 1 pizza for each night of the week. You see?
Yeah, you should fight for those dreams, Patrick.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do
Go
that.
for it.
I say that like that's even hard or like I haven't done that many times. Doesn't matter. All right, so rather than ask you what Everest was like, I'm sure there are plenty of great stories, we can show everyone a clip because we have a preview from Bombardier Blood, the new documentary about Chris's 7 Summits journey, full disclosure, directed by me. Let's take a look. How about that? All right, Chris, here's my next question. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this is a 7 Summits coffee table book that includes pictures and stories from all 7 of my climbs, which is pretty cool.
That's incredible. Where can people find this book?
So it's one of the many prizes that are part of the Save One Life Bombardier Blood raffle taking place Saturday after the screening at the Save One Life booth.
And good plug for the screening, because there is a screening of Bombardier Blood Saturday morning, 7:15 a.m. Ideal time to watch a movie, 7:15 in the morning, in Grand Ballroom 8A.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wake up early if you're going to summit Everest, right?
Right, well, literally true. Also, this guy climbed Everest, so you can climb out of bed and come to watch an incredible movie, right? That seems fair enough. Yeah. Also, there's breakfast. You know, that's worth stating out loud. It's part of my incentive to show up, and I directed the thing. There's breakfast, so don't worry about that. So, Chris, let's move on. We're talking about inspiring young people today. We're about to recognize a whole group of advocates. I'm assuming that each one of them had to climb to the top of Everest in order to receive a recognition tonight. Is that how this is working?
Wow. No, not at all, Patrick.
Oh, okay.
But everyone has their own Everest. It might be an inhibitor, it might be a personal loss, or it might be finding your way to stand up for what you believe in. But we all kind of have our own Everests.
Which brings us to our first category of the night, the Teen Impact Awards for Advocacy.
All right.
From Green Bay, Wisconsin, Ian Schmeider. Ian Schmeider lost his mother to von Willebrand disease at the age of 10. Now he carries on her legacy by volunteering, mentoring other children, and speaking on behalf of his and others' bleeding disorders. He aspires to become a registered nurse. From Monica, Pennsylvania, Cameron Cedeno. Cameron Cedeno has become a leading voice in Pennsylvania's Advocacy Day, pushing for more community funding. And he puts his money where his mouth is as a top youth fundraiser at the annual Hemophilia Walk. From New Llano, Louisiana, Benjamin Hicks. Benjamin Hicks is a representative for Louisiana's NHF Washington Days, as well as a key participant at Louisiana Capitol Days. He aspires to become a hemophilia nurse. From Milltown, New Jersey, Justin Najimian. Justin Najimian spent his summer as an intern at the Hemophilia Association of New Jersey, focusing on social media and community outreach. He created a New Jersey teen group to build a network of support for local young bleeders. From Tucson, Arizona, Nicole Perkins. Nicole Perkins focused her recent diagnosis with von Willebrand disease into leading the charge in Arizona's state and D.C. legislative days, becoming a counselor at Camp Honor, and working as an active participant in the NOW conference. From Owasso, Oklahoma, Keaton Robinson. Keaton Robinson recently went to bat for healthcare at the Oklahoma Hemophilia Foundation's first ever Hill Day, fighting for no lifetime maximums or pre-existing conditions. He's also focused his passion for the community as a volunteer at Camp Independence. From Bakersfield, California, Damian Perez. Damian Perez makes advocacy personal, recently moving California's legislators with his life story so much that they honored him at an assembly dinner immediately after. A member of Southern California's Teen Leadership Summit, he'll be taking this growing confidence to more Capitol Days in the future. From Vancouver, Washington, Andres Mota Ocampo. Andres Mota Ocampo has advocated with fellow teens at the Oregon State Capitol for 4 straight years, and this year took the flight to Washington, D.C. This commitment got Andres selected to serve as a teen representative on the HFO Board of Directors. From Altamont, New York, Matthew Smith. Matthew Smith has sacrificed school, work, and personal time to attend Albany Advocacy Days, NHF Washington Days, and an advocacy event held by HFA in June. Self-sacrifice is Matthew's way, including regularly volunteering at the local Ronald McDonald House. From Pico Rivera, California, Matthew Casas. Matthew Casas went face-to-face with California legislators on behalf of their hemophilia treatment centers after the governor threatened to shut funding down. He was an active participant in the Southern California Hemophilia Foundation's rigorous 5-day Teen Leadership Summit. From Staten Island, New York, Seth Patsekos. Seth Patsekos volunteers at the New York City Hemophilia chapter, where his work ranges from teaching others to infuse to being personally involved with convincing Congressman Dan Donovan to vote against the Affordable Care Act repeal.
Also, what a great mascot costume. All right, can I ask all the advocates who are here in attendance to please rise and come up on stage? Please rise, our advocates who are here in attendance tonight. Come on down towards Chris. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. All right. Now, all of you are guests here on this The Reasonable Hour Nighttime show, and my friend Chris is going to be helping with asking a few questions. In fact, Chris, do you want to get us started?
Absolutely, Patrick. That sounds great.
Does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
It sounds good. It sounds
all right,
good.
Cool.
I was just thinking about that question for a
Yeah,
second.
no, it's deep. It's really deep.
So, Ian, can you lead us off tonight by telling me, challenges are, well, pretty challenging. So how does someone take a huge personal challenge and channel that into action?
Well, I think when you take a huge personal challenge, you have your own self-challenges within that, where you need to think to yourself that you can do it, that you are able to achieve what you want. Like when I'm dealing with campers, when they face the challenge of that I give them, that they want to self-infuse for the first time, that's one of the biggest challenges that I see young kids with hemophilia have. And being able to see them through and give them the support that they are able to do that themselves, I think that is one of the most rewarding things to do to face that personal challenge.
Ian Schmeider, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Very well said. Nicole, those of us with bleeding disorders can have moments where we just want to, or even do, cry out, "Why me?" When you are facing those kind of moments, how do you handle them?
Well, being the first person in my family to know that we have a bleeding disorder and not really be able to talk to anybody that's close with you about the problems you're having and how you're changing and how people that you look up to, like doctors, you'll ask, "There's something wrong with me," and they tell you that it's just in your head, you're fine. They do the test and you're fine, and then people think that you're just making it up to get attention, but you know that it's true to yourself because you can feel it, it's wrong, and so when people doubt you and you think maybe it is just me, maybe I'm crazy. And then they tell you that you're not crazy, and you get all these new changes, and people finally start to understand you. It's easier then because you start having people to fall back onto. But before that, you're alone, and that's one of the scariest things is being alone. And for me, saying, why me? I would honestly rather have me have it than someone who's not as strong as me. I have gone through a lot of tough situations, and so it helped me grow stronger with facing not as tough or even worse situations. So being able to rely on my experiences and being able to have something that is difficult, but you can find ways around it, it makes it easier than having to look at somebody who has no support, who can't help themselves or have no one to help them. It just makes me feel like it's a whole lot easier.
Yes, great answer. Great answer, Nicole.
All right, Matthew Smith, you recently stared down some fears by learning to self-infuse. As a bleeder, why is it so important to learn self-care?
Well, for me, it really started, it stemmed from me trying to forget the fact that I even had it in the first place. I quickly found out that not only that, but I was sort of holding myself back in other aspects of my life when I was trying to forget about this. I worked so hard in my treatment center and with my mom and my family to sort of push myself to get over this fear that I had that I was just consistently going to fail in terms of self-infusing. And when I did that, it was really a breakthrough for me. It had this sort of domino effect where other parts of my life started developing, and it's not really just about your health. That's a huge part of it, but you could mentally be holding yourself back in ways that you didn't know.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you.
One last round of applause for all of our advocates, those here and at home. Well done. All right, right this way. Let's keep that applause going for the one, the only Mr. Chris Bombardier. Thank you, sir. That's a lot of fun. Brian, I was thinking.
Oh, man.
I haven't told the joke yet.
Classic.
Jay Rich, I was thinking.
Yeah, Patrick.
Raising awareness is such an important part of advocacy. Really letting people know who you are.
#truth.
And we here at the Teen Impact Awards, we need to raise awareness by boosting our social media presence. We need to do that. In fact, just this year, the Teen Impact Awards launched its own social media channels. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on Twitter. And you know what? If the Kardashians and adorable kittens can break the internet, Then so can I. Take out your phones. Everybody take out your phones.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to have a little fun
Team
here.
Impact
Let's
Awards,
take out our
at
phones.
Team Impact Award.
I'm not kidding.
at
Take out your
Team
phones.
Impact Award.
Okay, we're going to need to follow all these accounts right now. Take out your phone. I know you don't want to participate. This is very important. It's for healthcare. This is for our health. Over here, let's take out our phones. Let's get some pictures. Here, right here. This is a good spot. Let's get a nice photo. Here we are. Hey, look, we're here. That's great. Okay, let's take another one. Hey, look what we did. All right, fantastic. Over here, some other people. Hey, Matt, we just had a nice photo. Get in real close. I don't smell. I showered last week. That's fantastic. Excellent. That's great. Oh, who else do we have here in the house? All right, let's see who's going on back here. I don't see enough phones out over here. Where's everybody's phone? It's very important. My goodness, it's for healthcare. How many times do I have to say this? I couldn't. Oh, gosh. Everybody, it's NFL Super Bowl champion and last year's co-host of the Teen Impact Awards, Mr. Josh Gordy's in the house.
Really, man? No invite?
Josh,
After what we had last year?
hey man, you know I love you. We love you. We changed things up a little bit this year. That's all.
And
it
out
is.
of all people, you invited that Chris guy?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
All he did was climb a couple hills.
Well,
Well, I guess now he does have a nice book and documentary coming out. But anyway, I'm a Super Bowl champion, man. Come on, what's the deal?
in this room. But it's actually much more common to meet a Super Bowl champion than to meet someone who's climbed the 7 summits. It's actually a lot more common. It's just math.
Okay, well, I guess you're right, but
Hey.
Anyway, hey, I thought we had something, man.
We do have something, man. We do. We have something very special. Very special.
Why don't you prove it?
I'm sorry.
Prove it. Prove it to everybody in this audience. My wife, my kids. Prove it.
Kids are coming into this. It's proof that it's special.
Whatever you got to do, prove it.
Well, you know, I forgot to mention. I actually jumped down here originally to ask you if you wanted to help me out with the next category. Sure. Yeah, what do you think? Would you guys like to see Josh help me out with the next category? It's what the people want. It's what the people want.
Really?
Yeah, we should do it for the people. What do you say?
Hey,
huh?
let's do it.
Get on up there, Josh Gordy. Man, I know I'm gonna get out of that. Look at that. Hey, there he is. The Super Bowl champion himself. All right, got the
Where you
blingin'.
want me at?
Maybe one more over to the old spot. We call that the Josh spot. We named it after you. Yeah, the Josh spot. Here he is.
Fitting.
Josh, great to see you back up here. Okay, our next category is for the teens in our community who have had a pot. I'm sorry, what's happening now?
But first things first. There's something I have to do, all right? There are some Teen Impact Award recipients here that I want to acknowledge in a different way because they're close to my heart.
Okay, well that
Can we
seems...
do that?
Yeah, by all means, Josh, the stage is yours for that.
All righty. B. Will, J. Rich.
Sir?
Let me hear something. You ready?
Yeah.
Good.
You're really making this your own.
Hey, feeling good, man.
I can tell.
I just want to say I love being a part of this community. As many of you know, my nephew Nolan has a bleeding disorder. He's gone through his shares of ups and downs, but he's been persistent and inspires me to do what to work on behalf of the community as well. That's why I started the Hope Foundation. Even though I don't have what he has, I want to be with him each step of the way.
That's why we love you, Josh.
I hear you, Brian. And that's why we have a new category tonight for carriers and family members who are making their presence felt. We want to honor you and support you. So when I call your name, if you're here, please come on up. If you're watching at home, we'll throw your pickup on the screen because we love you. Starting with Cassidy Hollingsworth. Cassidy, your sister has hemophilia, and you attend NHF's Washington Days and state legislative days. You fight for your family and our community. So for that, you are a Teen Impact honoree. I hear you back there, B. Will. Erica Gonzalez.
Ooh, Erica
By all
Gonzalez
means.
fans in the house.
Your sibling also has hemophilia, and so you volunteer at Spirit Camp on the Spirit Crew at camp. You are a Teen Impact honoree. Kaylin Komar. You too joined the Spirit Crew and volunteered throughout the year at events like the Salsa Challenge and Zoo Walk. And for that, you are a Teen Impact honoree. Victoria Feliciardi. Victoria, are you here? I think we.
Here she is.
There she is. You are a brave sister who learned intravenous therapy at age 11 to help your brother with his treatments. And you sold jewelry to raise over, get this, $10,000. For NHF. And for that, you are a Teen Impact honoree.
That is true.
course.
That's very
Of
true.
course.
Stay up here. Stay up for the end. Yeah.
I see what you did. I see what y'all did there. I see what you did there. Sarah Firth, your brother has VWD. Oh, she's here.
Come on up.
What a surprise. You started a rare disease awareness club at your high school, and you regularly pitch in at events and at camp. You are a great sister and a Teen Impact honoree. Prospero Chavez, you help take care of your affected brother who is 8 years old. You volunteer at community events like the Walkathon, and you attend annual meetings. And for that, young man, you are a Teen Impact honoree. Oh, I thought we was going with it. That was nice. Oh, yeah. Vanessa Gonzalez, you carry hemophilia and you lost your dad to it when you was only 1. So now you volunteer at events and camp where you learn to infuse and help others. You also are a Teen Impact honoree. Elizabeth Hunter, you are a carrier of hemophilia as well. You volunteer in your community, and at home you take care of family members, some of whom have serious health complications. You are so brave and inspiring, and for that you are a Teen Impact honoree.
Yeah, she likes to use a lot of instruments. It's just going to keep happening.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we've been through cymbals and that thing. Amanda Walker, you are a symptomatic carrier of hemophilia. You fight bullying at your school and shoulder your own challenges bravely, choosing to channel them by helping others. I am proud to say you are a Teen Impact honoree. And last, but certainly not least, we have Farah Pavri.
Woo!
I believe you are here. Your brother has hemophilia, and this year you hosted your 2nd annual hemophilia walk in your hometown of Allendale, New Jersey. You attend chapter meetings and have volunteered to be the New Jersey team captain of NYCHC. You are truly a Teen Impact honoree.
Oh, man. Well, this is so incredibly powerful to see you guys up here tonight, to hear about all the incredible family members that we have in this community. And we know that there are a lot of other people here who are brothers, sisters, children of people affected by bleeding disorders or otherwise related to them. So, there's going to be a big group. But if everybody here who is either a brother, a sister, a caregiver, or a family member of someone with a bleeding disorder, if you could please stand up for a moment and be recognized for your role. Thank you very much. Wow, this is an incredible. You know what? Everybody, stay standing. You know what? It doesn't count in life. It doesn't count if it's not on the gram.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get everybody, you got signs at your seats, everybody, hold up those signs. We're gonna take the most epic selfie. Look at this, we're gonna challenge Ellen right now.
Great
All right,
opportunity.
let's turn around. Come here, Josh, we've never been in a picture together. This is very exciting.
Really? We was just together last
Yeah.
year.
No, I don't think that's real. All right, let's get those signs up nice and high, nice and high. Oh, Josh, you can't be in my picture.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. What a bummer. That's too bad. All right, that's good. That's going to do a lot for us. That's a big deal.
Good job,
All right, one more big round of applause for our incredible carrier and family member honorees tonight. Very well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh. Hey, Josh, you mind sticking around for that category that I had intended for you to participate in all along since the very beginning, since we first started this show? You mind doing that?
Oh, sure.
Right? All right.
Sure.
Next category is academics.
From Sacramento, California, Elizabeth Buckmiller. Elizabeth Buckmiller is a college student studying to become a teacher with a goal of working with young children with special needs. She was the first president of the Central California Hemophilia Foundation's Junior Board. From Grovetown, Georgia, Sebastian Rodriguez. Sebastian Rodriguez has championed projects to make school transit safer and goes the extra mile at school on the Student Council and Model UN. He also volunteers with nonprofits that assist veterans and children in foster care. From East Meadow, New York, Hannah Marie Tokiwa. Hannah Marie Tokiwa is a National Junior Honor Society member and a Girl Scout Silver Medal awardee for building a book-sharing library for her community, collecting over 700 donated books. From Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Riley Blair. Riley Blair is a Junior Honor Society member with a passion for all things science. He is currently earning his high school honors degree while taking several college courses off campus. His favorite book in 7th grade was The Periodic Table.
That is a very intelligent choice. And for those who are in the house, would you please rise and come up on stage and join Josh and I? I see Sebastian. Was that Riley?
Keep the applause going.
All right, let's keep that applause going for him. Come on up, guys.
So, Sebastian, how does it feel? How does the Model UN and Student Council at school help prepare you for work in the community and beyond?
So, as a member of Model UN and Student Council specifically, it's helped me develop several very practical skills: communication, negotiation, the ability to plan things and actually carry them out. Recently, I participated in preparation for my school's homecoming week and found that there's a huge difference between coming up with an idea and actually implementing that idea. And so that's also applicable with Model UN, where I find myself in front of committees having to suggest different solutions to problems such as displacement of children in war-torn areas or treatment of people with addictions to certain drugs. And all of that does help develop communication skills and all. But aside from that, with my extracurriculars, I think the biggest thing I've taken from it is that it's just a wonderful opportunity. And a lot of people going into high school, like myself, didn't realize or won't realize that extracurriculars like these clubs that I'm in are less of a job, and in reality, they're more of an opportunity. And so I regularly get to travel with Model UN or with my marching band, and I've been able to go as far as New York City or University of Virginia and participate in activities, and it's created lifelong memories that I'll save. And some of my best friends I've come to know on these trips. And if there's anything that I want to pass on to anybody who is hearing this, who's younger than me, and who is not done with high school yet or is going into high school, don't waste your time sitting around. Get involved. You will not regret it.
Sebastian, the future is very bright. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Well said, Josh. Riley, would you please sing a song? No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see that little bit of terror in your eye for a second. Your goal is to one day be an astronaut. How does your tireless work ethic prepare you to become the first bleeder in space?
Well, in order to become an astronaut, you kind of have to do a bunch of training and education to get there. And the hard work ethic is exactly how I plan to get there in general. Because without it, you would never be able to reach those educations and never be able to get a job in that form.
What's the most important thing an astronaut needs to keep in mind at all times?
You got to be kind of prepared for everything in general.
Kind of like in life, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Riley Blair, everybody. Nicely done. Hey, send us a postcard from Mars.
Yeah,
all right, send us a postcard from Mars. One more round of applause for all of our honorees in academics. And the one, the only, Mr. Josh Shorty. You're always invited, Josh. Come on, and tomorrow, if you want a chance to meet Josh, Chris, myself, other members of this team, the Reasonable Hour Nighttime Band, will be hanging out at the Believe Limited booth at 12 p.m. in the exhibition hall. If you would care to come on by and stop by, say hi, and other things that rhyme with I.
Sigh.
Speaking of, the sigh, there's so much love in the air tonight. It's such a nice environment we've created here, and I just want to take a moment, if it's okay with everybody, to just express a little bit of gratitude that I'm having for the sponsors who helped make tonight possible. Do you mind if we just take a moment to do that? A little gratitude for the sponsors who helped make tonight possible. Is that cool? Just take a second here. Yeah. All right, great. Let me just take out some little cards I have here, get myself a pen.
Oh, it looks like you're making some thank you notes over there.
No.
What?
That would be stealing a joke from Jimmy Fallon. And we late night hosts don't do that.
Oh, because you and Jimmy Fallon are peers.
Oh, Jimmy wishes, right?
Yeah. All right.
Patrick, do you want some thank you music?
Oh, sure. That's a great idea, but please don't call them thank you notes. Let's call them gratitude platitudes.
Oh, right.
Okay,
right,
so that way we can't get accused of borrowing. Joke borrowing. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready to do this?
Oh, yeah. Thank you
All right,
note
sure.
music coming right up.
Gratitude platitude.
Grapple dude, plasma puss.
No. Just play the music. Dear Shire, thank you so much for being a founding sponsor of the Teen Impact Awards. And thank you for also founding a new name for your company every year. Please forward to Baxter International Inc., Baxalta now a part of Shire, and Takeda Pharmaceutical Company. Thanks for keeping things fresh, Shire. Get that in the post. Dear NCHS, thank you for being an impact sponsor. Also, thank you for being there 24/7, sending reminders to my phone, and being willing to swing by anytime I need you. Who knew door to door and so much more meant that you were basically my digital medicine parents? Thanks, NCHS. Digital medicine parents. There we go. All right. I got that one in the mailbox.
Nice.
Dear CSL Bearing, thank you for being an impact sponsor too, and for your disruptive, groundbreaking work on Factor 8 deficiency, Factor 9 deficiency, Factor 10 deficiency, and Factor 13 deficiency. With all the labs it must take to make those drugs, it's a wonder we don't call you CSI Bearing. That one was for me. I enjoyed that one the most of everybody.
That was good, yeah.
I knew that going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was planning on that.
That was a success. That was a success.
Dear Spark Therapeutics, thank you for your support as well. You're 5 years old this year. Woohoo! So I hope this weekend you get to enjoy the most magical world on this planet, the World Center Orlando Marriott. Thanks, Spark Therapeutics. Thank you to Shire, NCHS, CSL Bearing, and to Spark Therapeutics. They did make tonight possible. Also making tonight possible, our selection committee. Rebecca Berenson, Linda Mugford, and Justin Levesque, chapter leaders, HTC clinicians, camp staff, parents, and everyone who had a role in nominating the 70 teens, our largest group ever, for the Teen Impact Awards here tonight. Thank you to everybody who had a hand in making it possible. It takes a small army. It really takes a small army. 70 people is a lot of people. You know, part of what makes tonight so important and so special is that thanks to the work of companies like our sponsors, alongside advocates and leaders in the community who help keep them honest, you know, we're symbiotic like that, these amazing teens and all of us are living much healthier, happier lives. Oh, wow, okay. Thank you very much. Oh, this is very important. Okay, I'm gonna have to follow up with you about this in just one moment, but before we do, I have another spotlight video for you. This time, Ishmael Jaber. We're going to see a little bit of his video here. He has exhibited leadership qualities in so many ways, and through his experience at Camp Outpost, he learned to apply these leadership skills to his family life. Let's take a look.
From Michigan, Ishmael Jaber.
Hello, my name is Ishmael Jaber, and I am 14. I'm a freshman in high school, and I have Factor 7, and I live in Okemos, Michigan. I decided to work in the food truck when I heard that the sad news that my mom got in an accident, and she has restrictions on her arms. So I just decided to help him out, you know, show leadership and help him out, like Tim always taught me.
Tim is Ishmael's counselor at Hemophilia Foundation of Michigan's Camp Outpost.
I feel like Outpost is all about like accomplishing your goals and stuff. When you go there, you feel like, oh, everyone's the same, everyone's like not different. Not like friends, like more like family. Like at school, if I tell someone, they think, oh, you weird. Oh, they treat me special. Like they keep all these sharp stuff away from me, all these stuff. For example, like my teacher, she started teaching me like I was a 2-year-old. It just felt weird. She's like, oh, you sure you can use those scissors? I was like, yeah, I can use this.
At Outpost, Ishmael quickly thrived as a counselor in training.
As a leader in training, I feel like to show kids what to be, like how to be a leader, how to support others. Seeing my mom like struggling a little bit, so I started like doing cashier, started doing the backstage work, you know, the cleaning, the dishes, all that stuff. Better than staying home, watch TV, just help. You always gotta say, have a lovely day. You know, you just gotta just shivvy down, go to the fire, put another fire, boom, 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 you're done.
Far too hungry to have just watched that clip.
So good.
But I also believe that Ishmael is here. So Ishmael, would you mind standing up and being recognized for your incredible leadership qualities? Thank you, sir. And you know, honestly, anytime that you want to just like bring me fries in life, that's totally welcomed. You are obviously expert at it, and I can eat fries better than just about anybody. I promise you that. Right, Natalie?
Oh.
Thank you. I got her back. All right. Thank you, Ishmael. And he is just one of the many unbelievable people in this community who has a compelling, who is compelled towards service. And my goodness gracious, well, this is just like an ever-ending, I can't right now. Okay. To talk about that, to talk about this community's interest and cultivation of service, please welcome from NHF, Miss Nicole Scappy.
Get down with them, Scappy.
Yeah, you know me.
Get down with them, Scappy.
Yeah, you know me.
Get down with them, Scappy.
Yeah, you know me.
Who's down with them, Scappy?
Every impact team, yeah.
I like, we didn't even plan this, and it looks like we did plan this, and maybe we should have planned this, but it worked out anyway. How are you?
It worked out perfectly. I'm doing well. How are you, Patrick?
Oh, you know, I'm doing great. I'm doing really great.
Looks like it.
I want to ask you, so selflessness, it's special, it's uncommon, and yet tonight, we see it in a lot of our Teen Impact honorees. Why do you think that is?
I find it pretty incredible, actually. You know, no one forced these teens to volunteer their time or fundraise. They did it out of the kindness of their heart. And at such a young age, to be so selfless, I cannot wait to see what the future holds for all of our winners tonight.
Yeah, you and me both. You and me both. You know, I have to think, though, that NHF has a role to play in certain young people's, maybe if not interest, their acceleration in areas of service. Can you speak a little bit to that?
I certainly can.
I thought you might be able to.
I can. So one of the ways is our National Youth Leadership Program. So we encourage youth and our teens to apply for that. We also have Washington Days that I've heard a lot of you have been attending, so you go advocate. Camp. And obviously the Bleeding Disorders Conference, you're all here, but the list goes on, and we try to keep our youth as active as possible. They are the future. As you can see here, we have some amazing teens tonight, and I think that's about it.
Well, hey, I hope it's not, though. Do you mind sticking around to honor the teens who are going to be recognizing for their service to the community?
I would love to do that.
All right, next up, our service teens.
From North Bend, Oregon, Kyla Toney. Kyla Toney volunteers for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Oregon, where she organizes food drives, makes fleece tie blankets for the ill children, and even scrubs the toilets in the charity's bathrooms. From Tampa, Florida, Genesis Erickson. Genesis Erickson regularly volunteers at Hemophilia Foundation of Greater Florida fundraising events. For her school, she coordinated registrations at 4 blood drives through One Blood. Also from Tampa, Florida, Natalie Rubin. Natalie Rubin works with the Hemophilia Foundation of Greater Florida, and this year took the initiative to reach out to their executive director to produce a teen legislative advocacy program. They had over 40 participants. From Phoenix, Arizona, Marcos Asornio. Marcos Asornio gives of himself with a great attitude. At camp this year, he was a member of the Spirit Crew, which involved setting and cleaning up all meals. But he got to dish it out as a volunteer at the Chili Salsa Contest. From Honolulu, Hawaii, Luis Miguel Acosta. Luis Miguel Acosta impacted the Hawaii community with his top fundraising efforts for the Unite Walk in 2018 and volunteers at the Hemophilia Foundation of Hawaii to share his passion of swimming with younger members of the bleeding community.
From New Orleans, Louisiana, Marcellus Fernandez Jr. Marcellus Fernandez Jr. is always first to step up at camp, including guiding younger campers to self-infuse. At home, he takes charge at his school's junior ROTC, where he serves as unit supply officer for all 130 cadets.
From West Hartford, Connecticut, Ishmael Castillo. Ishmael Castillo believes in paying it forward, volunteering at his childhood camp to pass along the joy it's given him. He takes care of the grounds, cleans cabins in the dining hall, and plants flowers, all to recreate the special experience he had at camp. From Concord, Massachusetts, Matthew Messina. Matthew Messina created Infusion Closet, which collects excess or unwanted medical supplies and delivers them to humanitarian organizations in need, ranging from the Global Health Society to Zethuleli Hospital in South Africa. From Vero Beach, Florida, Abigail Esther. Abigail Esther wants to make an impact wherever she goes, and she goes to a lot of places. Food banks, church, nurseries to care for the babies, and beyond. One of her greatest joys is working as a leader at her church's Vacation Bible School. Also from Vero Beach, Florida, Timothy Esther. Timothy Esther has volunteered at our church Vacation Bible School for 4 years as a helper, crafter, and this year as the youngest leader of his own group. He works on projects around his town, painting, cleaning up, mowing, and working at food banks. From Durham, New Hampshire, Shane Secanaro. Shane Secanaro has just completed a service project in Ecuador where he helped to build a school. Stateside, he helps prepare the grounds at family camp, where he has also worked as a junior counselor. From Darien, Connecticut, Liam Morrill. Liam Morrill gives 100 hours a month as EMT to the first and only teen-run EMS organization in the U.S. An active member of the Environmental Science Club, he worked at Soundwater's Environmental Learning Center, teaching kids the importance of preserving Long Island Sound.
If you're in the house, come on up and join Nicole and I on stage. Congratulations. Hello and welcome and congratulations. You have a remarkable vest. I am very impressed. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right, Nicole, you want to kick us? Oh, we got some more people coming on from stage right. We'll give them a moment to come on. Hello, Natalie. All right, Nicole, would you like to kick us off?
I'd love to kick it off. So, Kyla, you've always led a life of service, but how has your recent VWD diagnosis impacted your passion for serving others?
After I was diagnosed, I got involved with the HFO, and that gave me another platform to work for, learn about, and advocate for. And with Ronald McDonald House Charities, I've been working with them for about 5 years. And a few months after I was diagnosed, I actually stayed there, and it made me realize why I do what I do.
Oh, well, thank you, Kayla. Kyla.
Beautiful answer. Genesis, you chose to attend the Honors College at the University of North Florida specifically because of their focus on community service, if I'm not mistaken. How are you able to make helping others such a central part of your life?
Yeah, so UNF's Honors College presented me with the amazing opportunity of mentoring a refugee family from Ethiopia in the Jacksonville community. So that's been really cool. But I think my journey of having a bleeding disorder, so many people have served me and helped me. And it's shown me how important service really is. And honestly, I don't think I've done anything special. My hope is that all people can develop a hope of service.
Whew, well done. Go UNF and go Genesis. Beautiful answer.
Natalie, a huge part of your service work is volunteering at camp. How does the camp spirit fuel your desire to give back?
So at Camp Boggy Creek, we have this saying from our camp mascot. His name is Mr. Spivvy, and he always says, "The spirit of camp is love." So I guess what really fuels me is just a general love of people. Ultimately, I want to go into medical genetics because I want to be a part of the end of just childhood illness, just all of it, because nobody deserves that. And I think my desire to just every time I go to a hemophilia event or Camp Boggy Creek, I just picture Camp Boggy Creek closing down, or Hemophilia Foundation just allocating its resources elsewhere because it's not a problem. Hemophilia is like polio. So I just think of just one day, that's really where camp puts me at, this one day that it won't matter and it won't be necessary anymore.
Oh, thank you very much. Natalie Rubin, everyone.
Love. I like that. The camp spirit is love. I'm putting that in my pocket for tonight. That's one of my takeaways. Mercedes Fernandez Jr., my friend, how does the responsibility that you shoulder as a member of the ROTC inform the way that you think about service in other aspects of your life?
Well, the ROTC, it teaches us every day in class to develop our leadership skills, our leadership traits, responsibilities, and through that, we're kind of pushed to actively go out and to help people. And because of that, honestly, it's just the right thing to do at the end of the day.
The right thing to do at the end of the day. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for your service to our country. And thank you to all of our awardees. A big round of applause for all of our awardees in the category of service. Wow. And one more big round of applause for my friend Nicole Scappy. Thank you, Nicole. All right, wow. So we have now honored 4 of our 6 categories, and here to help me introduce the leadership category, please welcome representatives from NHF's National Youth Leadership Institute, Barack Ozturk, Zachary Lampier, and Chetan Bafna. Where are we? There we are. There we are. All right. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, gentlemen. Right this way. Good to see you, sir. Looking wonderful.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you. Right this way,
Hey, what are you doing?
Whoa.
What's it
Spicy.
doing? Come on.
Spicy.
No, come on. I'm
No,
gonna sit down.
spicy.
Hey.
Spicy.
Okay.
Awkward.
It's getting a little strange
on.
over there. It looks as though there is only room for one leader in that chair. And you know what that means. Leadership battle.
What?
It's gonna be a leadership battle.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, my band's very enthusiastic. Don't worry about any of that. Look, this is how it's gonna work. It's a leadership battle. It's like a lip sync battle, except we're going to be using inspirational speeches from films that were made before you were born. Are you ready?
Yes.
Wasn't born ready.
Let's get it.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to start with you, Zachary. Are you ready?
Born ready.
Okay, I like that fire. Zachary, your speech is Bill Pullman's speech from Independence Day. 3, 2, 1, Zachary.
We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
So by applause-o-meter, what did we think of Zachary? That's good. That was good. All right, so that's it. We're off to a really big start. Chetan, that's what you have to live up to. Your speech, my friend, is Ducks Fly Together, a speech from 1994's D2, The Mighty Ducks. 3, 2, 1, it's you.
We're gonna stick together. You know why?
Because we are ducks, and ducks fly together.
That's right, Jan. And just when you think they're about to break apart,
Ducks fly together.
And when the wind blows hard and the sky is black,
Ducks fly together.
and when the roosters are crowing and the cows are spinning circles in the pasture,
okay,
ducks fly together.
and when everyone says it can't be done, ducks fly together.
Oh, it takes an emotional turn at the end. It takes an emotional turn. By applause-o-meter, what do we think? All right, it's really neck and neck now, coming down to Brock Ozturk. Brock, are you prepared? Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Ooh, I like that. All right, this man is ready to go. My friend, your speech, maybe my favorite of all time, is William Wallace's speech from Braveheart. 3, 2, 1, Barack.
Die. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Top the charts. You know, I am realizing I'm not exactly sure how this determines who's the leader, because everybody did a good job. So, you know what? It doesn't really matter who cares about that chair, and we can never have enough leaders anyway, so everyone can help. Leadership! And here are honorees in leadership.
From Mandeville, Louisiana, Sean Noel. Sean Noel became the founder of Sean's Factor at the ripe old age of 10 to raise awareness and provide funds to the Louisiana Hemophilia Foundation, sending other children with hemophilia to camps free of charge. From Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, Colin Orth. Colin Orth stepped up as the leader of his own self-care within his own family. He learned to self-infuse, mix and order his own factor, and work through good and bad weeks to prepare himself for a life outside of the home next year at college. From Mulberry, Florida, Gabriel Anspaugh. Gabriel Anspaugh helped fund the Youth Advisory Board with the Hemophilia Foundation of Greater Florida, but it's in individual ways he leads the most. Gabriel lives with an inhibitor and helps guide others with inhibitors through their own challenges. From Melbourne, Florida, Victoria Emery. Victoria Emery is a student leader for the kindergarten group at her church and vacation Bible camp. She leads by doing, such as providing meals for the homeless at local ministry, and even taking the time away from a recent family vacation to clean up the beach. From Phoenix, Arizona, Tyler Pulley. As a Boy Scout, Camp CIT, and high school choir president, Tyler Pulley has team captain in his bones. This year, his Eagle Scout project benefited the Arizona Hemophilia Association with organizing storage for community events. From Cincinnati, Iowa, John McCarthy. John McCarthy is a protector. He uses humor and education to take on bullying, and at his camp, guides younger campers through fits of homesickness with patience, compassion, and his trademark smile. In the community, John has been instrumental in building Iowa's new teen program. From Chapin, South Carolina, Lucas Nash. Lucas Nash is a natural mentor. Whether he's participating in infusion camps, attending advocacy days, or creating videos to increase chapter outreach, he's become an unofficial spokesperson for his local community. From Santa Fe Springs, California, Andrew Yu. Andrew Yu is a major voice on behalf of the Korean American members of his chapter. At the State Advocacy Day, he shared his story about growing up in Korea with hemophilia. Then, as an intern, he set up the first Korean Families Chapter Dinner and translated the handbook into Korean. He hopes to one day go into foreign affairs. From Walnut, California, Glenn Chang. Glenn Chang wants above all else to be a role model. He attended the SoCal Leadership Summit and is becoming a leader in training at his local camp, all with the goal of being a mentor to younger children. From Jessup, Iowa, Gavin Nolan. Gavin Nolan was a leader among leaders at Iowa's first ever teen program. At the end of the event, he represented teens by sitting on a panel to help give parents a sense of what he and his peers accomplished over the weekend. He is a natural role model to younger kids in the community. From Charleston, Illinois, Hayden Cole. Hayden Cole leads the way in his sleep, literally, as an in-cabin CIT for his camp. In the community, Hayden is the treasurer for the 4-H Federation, the youth leadership board that plans and organizes all the county activities. From Camarillo, California, Mia Castaneda. Mia Castaneda is a rising leader, lobbying at California's State Legislative Day to protect community funding. She was the only young woman to complete the Hemophilia Foundation of Southern California's Teen Leadership Summit, lending her crucial voice to the conversation. From Solvang, California, Carson Knight. Carson Knight is another proud alum of the Hemophilia Foundation of Southern California's Teen Leadership Summit. Known as the ringer of the group, he closes out meetings and summarizes the issues. Carson is a natural leader and mentor to younger teen leaders in the bleeding disorders community. From Orange, Connecticut, Nitya Bhattarai. Nitya Bhattarai is a global force, raising funds for Save One Life, the international hemophilia charity, and traveling to Nepal to meet with youth members of the Nepal Hemophilia Society. He plans to study pharmacy in college to aid his global efforts in the community. From Fresno, California, Ernesto Rios. Ernesto Rios is a junior counselor at Camp Hemotion. From taking charge with early morning wake-up calls to taking care of the youngest group at camp, he leads by example, is a good communicator, and follows through. One day, he wants to become the camp director. From Debary, Florida, Litzy Garduno. Litzy Garduno has been a key member of the Be Lead Retreat for the past 4 years. Her MO is to tackle any challenge herself and then stick around to cheer on others. She has a positive attitude, is a great role model, and is always willing to help out. From Sugar Land, Texas, Brandon Buchanan. Brandon Buchanan has had a hemophilia walk team in Houston 10 straight years since its inception. He is a camp counselor and a mentor to another young boy in his neighborhood who has hemophilia A.
Wow. A lot of impressive people. All right, leaders in the house, come on up and join us here on stage to be recognized. All right, Zach, Jaitan, Barak, you guys are going to help me out asking questions of our incredible group that we have up here. And Zachary, you want to once again kick it off?
All right, sounds good. Colin Orth. Learning to maintain a strong self-care practice before college is a huge but life-saving challenge. What advice do you have for those who are currently building a teenage self-care practice?
All that I can really say to people who have hemophilia is that you have to remain strong and keep trying. Rely on your peers around you, either your family, your friends, or anyone you can really trust. And just always take this experience in with humor. Never think about it as oh dang it, I have to do this again. Always, when you think you're gonna cry, instead just laugh.
Thank you, Colin, and good luck on this amazing journey.
All right, Gabriel.
What is one of the most important and too often underlooked qualities of a good leader?
There are a couple of them that have come to mind right off the top of my head. To give a little backstory, the first one, I spent 4 years in the ROTC program at my local high school, finishing as my company's first sergeant. And I would see a lot of the other leaders there. They'd be doing a half job and wanting all of the recognition that comes with it. When I'd see a bunch of the more not recognized people putting in all they've got and all their give. So I think being able to not only lead, but lead without the expectation of recognition is something that's crucial to being a leader. The other thing is being able to not only give commands or being able to tell somebody, hey, you should be doing this, but to also be able to take commands and be able to listen to the people who are not only above you, but also below you, and listen to them on what they have to say and learn as you're helping others grow.
Powerful world. Thank you, Gabriel.
Great answer.
Victoria Emery, you spent so much time guiding children. What makes you so driven to look after the tiniest members of our community?
By working with the Kids at the Awana program at my church, it's also a way to serve God, and also it's always amazing seeing their smiling faces and them always being happy all the time, because whenever I'm having a bad day or something, or I'm having an issue, sometimes I'm walking and it all goes away because it's completely focused on them. And it's just always fun working with them, because somehow kids are able to constantly stay positive no matter what, even if it's completely ridiculous.
Thank you for what you do.
Tyler, we noticed that you've been recognized by your peers as a leader several times. How hard is it to take charge of people your own age, and any tips on what makes a good ringleader amongst friends?
Thank you, Patrick. I think what it takes for me is I have to have the confidence for it. If I don't believe in something, I'm a very expressive person. I can't lie about it. So I have to be all in or not there at all. So it's really just the confidence. People can see it on your face if you're not confident. And what makes a good ringleader among friends, you just got to be there for them. I mean, if you can support your other friends with what they're doing, if you have a cause that you want, that you actually enjoy, they'll get right behind you on that.
Great answer. Great answer, Tyler. Thank you, sir.
John McCarthy, we've heard that you've never met a stranger, which speaks to just how friendly you are. How important to you is seeing the good in people?
So I want to start off by saying that no matter who you are, you can always change a bad person into a good person. There is always at least a small amount of good in a person. And so with that being said, that this world needs more kindness. There's a lot of negativity flowing around, and it's kind of depressing. So I mean, yeah.
Thank you so much, John.
More kindness. I like more kindness. That's good.
Lucas Nash, when you get involved, you stay involved. After a meeting at an advocacy day, you volunteered on a local representatives campaign for 2 terms. How important do you think it is to stick with what you've started?
I think it's very important to stick with what you started, because I'm very passionate about what I do and what I believe, and I think that quitting is not a very admirable character trait. But most importantly, I think, is people with bleeding disorders in the community, we don't have an option to quit. And I want to be a leader to the young people out there to show them that quitting is an option, and to stick with what you do and be passionate about it.
Words to live up by. Thank you.
Litzy Garduno. Yes. We were told you keep others going when they have nothing left to give. What drives you to never quit and to instill that in others?
Well, as a person, I've always been very positive. You can ask my family. Well, actually, my hard times are what drives me to continue. I'm pretty sure everyone in this room, or almost everyone in this room, has felt a time where they give up or they find some obstacle to get over because they, some life is unexpected, it's unacceptable, you don't know what's gonna happen. So, yeah, my hard times are what really push me. I've been through those times many, many times, and so the positivity of, you're gonna get over it, you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna strive to do the best that you can do is what really gets me through it. And I just want to instill that into everybody because some people just don't get that motivation, and I think that's key.
Thank you.
Please give a round of applause for all of our leaders.
Very well done. And let's keep that applause going for Zachary, Barack, and Jatan. Thank you, gentlemen. Well done. There's one more leader that I think you need to meet. So I have got one more and one final spotlight video to share with you before we get to the final award category of the night. Meet Gabby Flores, Big Stick Award winner and courageous outside-the-box thinker. Take a look.
From Fenton, Missouri, Gabby Flores.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm 17 years old. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Every year in March during Bleeding Disorder Awareness Month, obviously, we go to Jeff City, which is the capital of Missouri, and we go and talk to our elected officials. I remember I was 12, 13, and I was really, really scared to go talk to elected officials because I didn't feel like I had a good enough story. You just gotta take the leap, So mostly just during Bleeding Disorder Awareness Month, almost every day I try to post little facts about bleeding disorders. Not everyone's as open as me. I'm a pretty open book. So I feel like when I'm talking and advocating, I'm advocating for the kids that can't really say anything for themselves. And I figure if more people know a bit more about bleeding disorders, they'll be more understanding.
On top of advocating for the community, Gabby also donated her veins.
We were on the practice side of the med shed, and then there was the for real stuff going down on the other side where kids were actually trying to self-infuse. I wanted to go over there and help some of the little campers that I've been bonding with all week, but I didn't feel like I could help them self-infuse if I hadn't done it myself.
It's important to note that Gabby's regimen does not require her to self-infuse or to infuse at all, but in order to set a courageous example for the young people around her, she self-infused for the first time at camp.
And everyone's like, "You just self-infused." I'm like, yeah, there's a needle in my arm and I put it there. What I've learned, especially the last year or two, is I've had so many positive things come out of this that I don't even think about that whole year of me trying to get a diagnosis. It's given me so many opportunities. I traveled to Oregon for the Yeti conference. I get to go to national conferences. I get to hang out with my camp family. This disorder has given me so much more than it's taken away from me.
Let's see ya. Gabby, you're out there somewhere. Now there she is. Big round of applause for Gabby Flores. Thank you, Gabby. Wow, that was a great video. You and all your fellow leaders are so important to our growth as a community, so thank you. And with that, we have one category left remaining. Again? Wow, okay. You know what? I'm going to have to loop you in on the. Yeah, I know this is a thing now.
I want to know.
There's been some updates going on since we started the show tonight on the drug development side of things. So just real quick, let me let you know this. The following drugs have just been announced. They're entering phase 1 clinical trials. It's happening as we speak. Jercolam, Nerfev, Boxzel, Kutox, Stocard, Bizavir, Jerxavir, Boxnerv, Nervzavir, Coxtoxnard, and finally Pugeria. And actually, this is interesting. Pugeria, it says here, has the high hopes that it will one day be able to permanently end the need for phase 1 clinical trials. That's what they're studying with Pugeria. Very interesting. Another one? Wow, okay. The following drugs have just gotten to phase 2 clinical trials. Man, this is happening fast and furious here. Phase 2 clinical trials. We got Guman, Slamox, Stainpipa, Goostid, Slamard, which is not to be confused with Slamox. Different mechanism of action there. Really? Okay, and look at this Pugeria, already at phase 2. It just entered phase 1 30 seconds ago. Really climbing the ranks. Good for you, Pugeria. Are you serious? I don't really have enough time. We're trying to finish the show here. Okay, finally entering phase 3 clinical trials, which is the phase that is looking to end all disease forever, eradicate world hunger, and cook the perfect omelet. So it's quite a combination. We have Bravar, Dux Tax, Chuck Profin, and Marvel's Infinity War Part 2. I don't know, that doesn't seem like it should be in a clinical trial. Oh, but this is sad. Pugeria got knocked down to 1 again. Yeah, they're 1, 2, 1. They're having kind of a rough night, Pugeria. How many more of these are we going to do? No. That's far too. You know what? You know who'd love to see those? Rob. Go show those to Rob. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, so just a little quick news update. Sorry about all that. And before we get to our final category, I do want to say, if you didn't check it out on the way in, make sure to check it out on the way out. Our founding sponsor, Shire, has enabled us to present you with the foyer that you walked through that catalogs the history of the Teen Impact Awards, as well as showcasing more photos from the folks who are honored here tonight. So if you didn't have a moment on the way in to check it out, make sure on the way out you check out the Founders Foyer. And thank you, Shire, for providing us with that opportunity. With that, let me invite back up onto the stage for our final category, Arts and Athletics. Please welcome back up Mr. Chris Bombardier.
Good look.
Can you take me higher?
Not higher than that right now, I think.
That's about it?
I think that's it. As far as we're going.
Well, what's it say on that thing?
Thanks, Patrick. But at this point, nobody wants to hear from me, so let's just play the next video.
Good idea.
Yeah.
From East Amherst, New York, Dawson Miller. Dawson Miller started playing golf when he was 7 years old and is now a part of the First Tee program, impacting young people through the game of golf. He plays in tournaments on behalf of his chapter and is the 2-time reigning junior national champ of Phoenix's Getting in the Game, a golf competition for the bleeder community. From North Richland Hills, Texas, Lavong Emmanuel Vu. Lavong Emmanuel Vu has the heart of a musician. He plays flute and sings weekly at several churches, is a member of the Arlington Youth Symphony, a member of the Music Honor Society at school, and is a member of 2 separate Texas all-state choirs. From Buckeye, Arizona, Faith McKenzie. Faith McKenzie likes to move. She's spent all 4 years of school on the swim and dance team. Nothing gets in her way, including her bleeding disorder, and Faith has already self-funded much of what she'll need to attend college. From Springfield, Pennsylvania, Dylan Rooney. Dylan Rooney is a video producer who uses his vision to give back. As tech leader for his school's dance marathon for pediatric cancer, he produced numerous videos for recruitment and advertising, and also oversaw all of the technical requirements of the dance marathon itself. From Phoenix, Arizona, Asael Aguilar. When Asael Aguilar gets told he can't because of his bleeding disorder, his go-to response is, "Watch me." Asael is a true athlete, moving up the ranks in his local soccer club, with plans to play in high school. From Quincy, Massachusetts, Andrew Tham. Andrew Tham excels at non-impact sporting. He's a lifeguard and competitive league bowler, and spends his time teaching young people the ins and outs of each sport. Andrew is also a member of his high school's hyper-robotics team. And yes, he mentors young people in that, too. From Lexington, Kentucky, Sam Cheris. Sam Cheris is an Eagle Scout and outdoorsman. A certified scuba diver, extreme hiker, and mountain climber, he manages both his own self-care and gives care to others. He regularly navigates the challenge and his own bleeding disorder, completing both with no complications. From Suntan Valley, Arizona, Victoria Bangerter. Victoria Bangerter has the bug, already pursuing a career in acting and singing. At age 15, she's completed 4 college semesters in the arts. She's a caring person who looks after her family and friends as much as they look after her, even using her talents for regular hospital visits to perform for patients. From Falmouth, Maine, William Addison. William Addison is a year away from being an Eagle Scout and a 3rd-generation member of the Order of the Arrows. He's a hiker and budding mountain climber, inspired by Chris Bombardier to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. From Bronxville, New York, William B. William B. plays to win. In the fall of 2017, he won $1,000 for the NYC Hemophilia chapter at the Junior National Golf Championship. Then he co-captained Team Hope at the NHF Unite for Bleeding Disorders Walk, helping them reach VIP status for the first time in 10 years. From Paris, Tennessee, Jeremiah Quinn. Wherever Jeremiah Quinn is, he'd rather be drumming. He'll push through pain, take on in-classroom infusion, and even drum in crutches to attend band competitions. But in the school pit, he's not limited to rhythm. Jeremiah can play up to 7 instruments. From Thomaston, Connecticut, Eric LaLiberty. Eric LaLiberty loves to hike with Boy Scout Troop 303, a troop for guys with special needs, and has participated in the Special Olympics for 6 years, bringing home a bronze medal for the 100-meter, the silver for the mini javelin, and the gold for the standing long jump.
All right. Just want to try it out.
Yeah, I
Looks
deserved
fun.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I believe we at least have Dylan here from our final category of the evening to come represent. Dylan, come on up.
Dylan?
Well, all right. Chris, you seem to have this part all figured out yourself, so go right ahead.
I think I got this. Got my little cards. Dylan, thanks for being with us tonight.
Oh, of course.
Your art helped raise $112,382.20 for pediatric cancer. Why are you just determined to use your craft to make the world better?
So one of the people who were really influential on me in this dance marathon was our overall, a kid named Kevin Bunnell. He lost his dad to cancer when he was very young. And on the day of our mini-thon, he told me one of the things that his dad said before he passed away. He said, no matter what happens, if you can't help someone, learn their story and be able to tell it to other people. So there were families there with kids who had passed away, and it was really, really hard to get through. And it was really hard because their pain was giving on to us. And I just thought of that, and that helped me get me through it, and the video we made brought the room to tears.
Awesome. Beautifully said, Dylan. Beautifully said. Yes. Yeah.
You know, I actually want to use that as inspiration for just one final question to cap the evening, and it's appropriate for both of you. You've both done extraordinary things, but it can be very intimidating to try to set out to make an extraordinary impact. So for each of you, and Dylan, maybe you can take this first. For someone looking to make an extraordinary impact, how do they get started?
So the way to get started is to surround yourself with people who are like-minded and want to work towards your cause. I mean, I was on a team with 13 other kids who were 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. They didn't need to put in the amount of time and effort that they did. I mean, this could have been an extracurricular to put on their resume. But we had meetings after school for hours just talking about how can we make this better for the families, how can we raise more money. And it was just amazing to see all the work they did. And the way to really bring yourself higher is to surround yourself with people that want to help you get there.
Great answer. Amen to that.
Awesome. Very nice. It's tough to follow up.
Yep. Good luck.
Mine may sound a little cheesy, but literally, even when climbing the highest mountain in the world, the journey really starts with just a single step. So
show off.
Just taking that first step. Yeah. Just taking that first step.
Taking the first step.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Dylan, and thank you to everybody in the arts and athletics category. And with that concludes the 4th annual Teen Impact Awards. We get all honorees back up on stage. All guest presenters back up on stage. This is going to be sweaty, but oh yeah, definitely, if you've got your certificates, bring them, hold them up. It looks great. Thank you all for being a part of this evening and helping us honor these remarkable teams who have made such a positive impact. Thank you to our sponsors, Shire, NCHS, CSL, and Spark Therapeutics. I want to thank my guests, Chris Bombardier, Josh Gordy, Nicole Scaffey, Barack Oster, Chetan Bafna, Chris Lampier, Believe, NHF, The Reasonable Hour Nighttime, and my guest, Teen Impact Award. Here we go. Liam, Litzy, Farah, Riley, Gabrielle, Ishmael, Amanda, Ernesto, William, Seth, Elizabeth, Hannah, Marie, Brandon, Shane, William, Brandon again, Vanessa, Prospero, Nitya, Gabby, Carson, Mia, Matthew, Sebastian, Hayden, Dylan, Elizabeth, TJ, Abigail, Andrew, Matthew, Sarah, Ismael, Matthew, Andres, Gavin, Marseilles, Eric, Sam, Victoria, Mayra, Michelle, Damien, Glenn, Andrew, Lucas, Lewis, John, Keaton, Victoria, Asael, Faith, Marcos, Eric, Tyler, Cassidy, Nicole, Natalie, Victoria, Justin, James, Genesis, Gabriel, Benjamin, Cameron, LeBong, Colin, Kyla, Ian, Sean, Dawson, and Jeremiah. We have an award show after party going on in the box office area, the founding area over there. Join us for some snacks. Be sure to stop by to say hi. The Teen Impact Award honorees, the band, myself, Leave, everybody else. Have a great night. Have a great conference. And we hope to see you back here next year for the 5th annual Teen Impact Awards. Good night.